عبد الله فجاهدوا في سبيل الله.
بالبيت الأبيض سوف نرفع راية لا إله إلا الله.
Next president faces daunting challenges in a dangerous world. ISIS on the rise, Iran promoting terrorism, North Korea threatening, Libya in chaos, North Africa in chaos. Hillary Clinton failed every Secretary of State. Now she wants to be president.
You'd have to really ask the president, what is it that he actually is doing?
As I've said before, this aspect of our strategy was moving too slowly, but the fall of Ramadi has galvanized the Iraqi government. So with the additional steps I ordered last month, we're speeding up training of ISIL forces, including volunteers.
So with the additional steps I ordered last month, we're speeding up training of ISIL forces, including volunteers from Sunni tribes.
Hillary Clinton doesn't have the fortitude, strength, or stamina to lead in our world. She failed as Secretary of State. Now she wants to be president. Hillary Clinton doesn't have the fortitude, strength, or stamina to lead in our world. She failed as Secretary of State. Don't let her fail.
This is the same person who took money from financial folks on Wall Street.
Of course we have to deal with the problem that the banks are still too big to fail. We can never let the American taxpayer and middle-class families ever have to bail out the kind of speculative behavior that we saw. I represented Wall Street as a senator from New York, and I went to Wall Street in December of 2007, before the big crash that we had, and I basically said, cut it out. Quit foreclosing on homes.
Now, who's exactly to blame for the housing crisis? I think there's plenty of blame to go around. Home buyers who paid extra fees to avoid documenting their income should have known they were getting in over their heads.
But we also have to worry about some of the other players. AIG, a big insurance company, Lehman Brothers, an investment bank. There's this whole area called shadow banking. That's where the experts tell me the next potential problem could come from.
And then voted for a bankruptcy bill that makes it harder for folks right.
And I believe Wall Street can never, ever be allowed to wreck Main Street again.
Release of purported excerpts of Secretary Clinton's paid speeches, which she has refused to release, and one line in particular in which you, Secretary Clinton, purportedly say you need both a public and private position on certain issues. Is it okay for politicians to be two-faced? Is it acceptable for a politician to have a private stance on issues?
It's a treat for all of you, too, because usually I charge a lot for speeches like this. I started traveling around the country last winter. I would be in small groups with my supporters and a lot of my wonderful donors, some of whom are here today.
Meet within these communities, and they are very, very upset with what their politicians have told them and what their politicians have done.
Senator Clinton, this is the same person who has taken more money from lobbyists than any other candidate, Democratic or Republican, taking more money from drug company lobbyists and insurance company lobbyists.
Don't let her fail us again.
And I believe Wall Street can never, ever be allowed to wreck Main Street again.
And let her fail us again.
We certainly don't have now. We have the phony unemployment rate of 5% when the number's probably into the 20s.
Within these communities, and they are very, very upset with what their politicians have told them and what their politicians have done.